finishing up the LP once and for all. This is KYN, the host of the LP of the Lemmings Destination. So welcome back, everyone. So as I said at the top of the introduction, this video should pretty much be the final one for the LP of Lemmings Destination. Considering that, based on the preview image of the last level from the previous video, I do recognize it, and I have played it before. So for that reason, it shouldn't take that long, to get it solved. But at the same time, it's been quite a while since I last played it, so I most likely have forgotten my own solution that I found by then. But even then, I don't think it's going to take too long. So let's go ahead and dive into the level and try to get it solved, just so the LP is done and over with. Alrighty, Synthetic 11 to finish off the pack. Abandoned Memory, 65 Lemmings, 60 to be saved. And yeah, this is in contest number 21. So 2 contests ago. Anyway, I kind of find it amazing that it was only 2 contests ago. As for the skill set, I don't remember if it was this exactly. If it was 2 of everything except for builders, where you had 3. And from what I remember, I took some kind of very fiddly method in solving this. Oh yes, and we do have a pre-assigned climber hatch at the very bottom there. And then the other hatch that's up here, it's just a regular hatch. And yeah, I forget what this figure is supposed to represent. Yeah, the rule was basically just create a level where there's some kind of like familiar character, and basically it's supposed to like represent something. Yeah, so it's not necessarily like a character, but like it's supposed to like represent something. This one, yeah, I forget what this figure is supposed to represent. Okay, let me see. This teleporter, I believe, leads to... Oh, yes, they're marked with the color dots. So these yellow dots, yeah, they correspond to each other. Similarly, these red dots correspond to each other as well. Let's see. Yeah, I don't even remember the solution I found now. Okay, and we are allowed to lose 5 here. Let's see. I think from what I remember like mining down here to the crowd. Well, then again, I think I remember making the bottom left hatch use that teleporter down here, just so they could just simply climb up to the exit. I think that's really what I remembered. Yeah, let's go ahead and block there. Yeah, and from what I remember as well, my solution was basically deemed ultimately deemed acceptable, even though it wasn't intended at all. Plus, I'm not even sure if the low even got patched up in the meantime. Something up there, but maybe dig here, and mine the other way. Um. Yeah, and I basically remember not having the teleporter overflow. Yeah, at least that's what I remembered. Yeah, because fortunately, this teleporter is extremely fast. Alright, and let's go ahead and block there so that the climbers can still get past. Yeah, and that's coming too soon for my liking. If I had the climbers go out first. Oh, there's actually an overhang there. Well, we'll just bomb it away. Yeah, this bomber has to be pixel precise. Okay, and I believe this might do actually. Let's see, and yeah. Is it possible to just simply max out the release rate here? Oh, one slipped by. Oh, there's a couple there. Okay, so it didn't exactly work out as I wanted it to. That's not what I wanted. Oh, go splop there. Yeah, I remember there was something here. Hmm. Digging down. Leave a blocker there. I'm just gonna use a basher here as well. Oh, some of them bunched up, unfortunately. I'm still losing one too many here. Delay him a little. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm still getting them way too bunched up. Kind of blocking them in. Actually, oh yeah, that's what I wanted. Maybe I can use some floaters to delay, although. Yeah, 2 of them slowed to 5, which I really don't want. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. I think this is more like it. Let's see. Now, does this work with a max up release rate, though? No, it's not. So, we just have to leave it at the default. And then time skip all of this. Yeah, and as Nessy said, this is not intended, but he ultimately decided that the solution should stay. So yes, I just decided to solve it the way I did before. Um, Though that kind of makes me. Oh, actually, I'm not even sure if I can find the replay for it. Actually, you know what? I think I can find it. Yeah, so with the completion of Synthetic 11, that brings us back to the first level, which is Helium 1. Yeah, but for Synthetic 11, let me try to see if I can find the original solution that I found before. It's pretty much similar to the one that I just found just now. Let's see. No, it's 12.12. Let's see. Replay. And that was Contest 21. Okay, it's got to be this since I did rename it apparently. Okay, so let's go ahead and see my solution here. Oh, so I actually blocked down there. Okay, and I climb, and then I dig. Okay, and then I mine. Okay, and then I send another climber. Okay, and then I mine the other way. Okay, and then I start bashing up the crowd. Oh yes, and then I start building towards that teleporter. And yeah. Okay, so I think that's the reason why I bashed early, just so I don't have any lemons clumped up. Okay, oh yeah, then one last builder bridge. Oh yes, and then he's already a climber because I gave it to him. I gave the skill to him. Yeah, and then I bombed like I did before. Okay, and that Nemming unfortunately clumps up with one of the climbers. Okay, so it appears that I just mine in such a way so that he goes through all of it, so that it's steppable. Okay, and then I delayed the non-climber with a digger. And then I cancel him with a basher. Okay, and then after breaking through for a bit, yeah, then I block. Okay, and then the rest of it should just be time skipping. Yeah, because basically this happens every time. It will always be, the climber and the non-climber will always be separated by that much. So therefore the teleporter will never overflow. Yeah, so I'm just gonna time skip all of this. So the solution takes slightly longer here, but this one works just the same. Okay, I even went 2 over the requirement here. I'm not sure if that's what happened with the other solution. No, I don't think I went 2 over the requirement that time. But well, okay. Yes, so like I said, finishing Synthetic 11, which was the final level at Lemmings Destination, brings me back to Helium 1. So yes, it did not take as long as I thought it did. I mean, granted, it did take a little longer than expected, but yeah, well, that was me trying to remember how I originally solved it, and apparently I just went with my solution again. Yeah, rather than another solution. because I have seen a couple other solutions, but yeah, it's been quite a while, so I don't exactly remember them either. Um, but anyway, yes, that was the final level at Lemmings Destination. So that concludes the pack. So wrapping up, just going back and reflecting on the pack itself. Yeah, there was just plenty of really, really good levels, and I have stated it before. Lemmings Destination is many times better than Lemmings Migration. So now that I finished Lemmings Destination, I've now officially completed both of Nessy's packs. Um, so yes, starting off the pack with Helium 1, yeah, it's a pretty simple 2 of everything. And storage available, yes, that one wasn't too difficult, but yeah, it took longer just because I decided to go for a save all solution. Nothing too special about Helium 3. Um, it was a bit harder than the previous 2, but it was still not that bad. Lemming Rig, it was one of my favorites. Uh, 5, yeah, this was another favorite of mine. 6, yeah, this kind of reminds me of the first level of, I believe it's Migraine from Lemmings Migration. Migraine would be the final rank of that pack. I think it reminds me of that just because it was also crystal level and also one of everything as well. And yeah, and it was also the classic 8 skills, just like Helium 6. Types, B personalities for Helium 7, yeah, that was another favorite of mine. Don't steal our honey. Yeah, I like um the method to isolate a worker lemming here. Rock is mine. That's a really, really good miners only low. 10, nothing too special here. It was a little difficult, but um, yeah, it wasn't too bad. Right, the Nessy. I really like the design here. Really, really nice. This one, yeah, pretty nice puzzle here. And then here, yeah, I was a dummy and then realized that the left wall was lower than the one on the right. But it was a very nice puzzle though. Really liked it. 14, it was one of my favorites. 15, nothing too special there. Wasn't too difficult. Yeah, bit challenging, but wasn't too hard. 16, this one was another favorite of mine. Yeah, that was a really neat way of building in such a place so that no one else can use it while everyone else is contained at the bottom. And then later releasing them with like a bomber. Yeah, and especially the way to make a platform for them, that's pretty clever too. Um, 17, nothing too special. 18, I struggled with that one, but most importantly, I was pretty annoyed by how the miner kept chipping off the base of the builder staircase. That was pretty annoying. And then ultimately, I went with another solution. Felt a bit hackish, but it worked for me, so I went with that. 19, that was a huge favorite of mine at the healing rank. Yeah, it definitely did a really good job of making me wonder, okay, how do I hold back the crowd temporarily and then being able to release them later on. Yeah, that was really, really neat. And then we love Wafflems. Yeah, to round off the healing rank, I like the homage to Wafflem. I unfortunately never got to meet him just yet, just because I came at a much later time after he has kind of seemingly disappeared. And he still hasn't returned yet. But I'm hoping that he will at some point, just because he sounds like someone that I would like to meet. Neon. Oh, Neon 1. That was a really good one. Yeah, I really liked the level. Very neat trick of isolating a worker lemming at the top and then just bombing on the other side so as to keep the platformer going. 2, really easy. 3, a little more challenging than the previous 2, but still nothing too difficult there. Was kind of a dummy here as well. But it seems that keeping the crowd moving was works there. So 4, nothing too special. That one was pretty easy. 5 was a little harder, but I'm pretty sure my solution is a back route since I do have a couple skills left over. 6, oh, I like that one. Moonstroke was pretty good. 7, I'm pretty sure I cheesed that level as well. So If my solution is acceptable, then it's probably like maybe just a little more efficient than the intended. But yeah, I'm pretty sure my solution is not quite intended. Eight, nothing too special there. Oh, nine. Nine was a really good one. Yeah, it was very deceptively difficult, but that's because I went about things the wrong way. I totally forgot about platforming up a minor tunnel. 10, I think I've got the intended for that one, but I'm not sure. Maybe a slight backward though. I don't quite remember. 11, oh, that's a pretty good one. I like that one. 12 was pretty difficult. Um, Judging from another solution that I watched, it seems that building just after the miner breaks through before he was not able to turn around, it seems that that's intended. 13 was a really good one. Yeah, I really, really loved the puzzle here. Very, very satisfying to figure out. 14, I recognize that as an homage to the PSP version of the low with the same title. But it was quite difficult though. 15 was a pretty good one. That one's another one I liked. 16 was another one I liked. 17 was surprisingly a difficult one for me. And surprisingly, I never realized just bombing a faller between the two snow pillars, judging from another solution I watched. 18. Oh, 18. Yeah, that one surprisingly gave me problems as well. My solution ended up being very, very different. And also requiring some pixel precision as well. Here I was a dummy in that I didn't realize that I could just save the Lemming Death slip before the platformer finished with a climber. He's able to get himself up on time. 19. 19 was a pretty good one. Yeah, pretty easy though. 20 was a little harder, but yeah, nothing. But it wasn't too hard either. Pretty nice puzzle. And Argon. Oh, Argon 1. That's a pretty good one. Very, very good puzzle there. And then 2. 2 was pretty hard. That one took me a while. In particular, I was trying to deal with the floater pre-assigned hatch. Um, but I'm actually pretty surprised that, well, maybe not surprised, but like, I'm not exactly sure if closing off the gap to the water is intended though. And I'm actually, well, okay, yeah. I am surprised that it did work, but it seems that building a little further back was necessary in order to achieve that. 3, that should be a slight back route since I don't exactly use all the skills there. 4, nothing too special here, but it wasn't as hard as I thought, but it's still challenging. Worlds apart, nothing too special there either. But surprisingly, a pretty difficult one, even with just 3 skill types, and the most prominent skill being the builder. 6 was a really good one. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, I really like how we have one of each of the destructive digging classic skills. 7 should be a slight back route. Pretty much my solutions all down to the timing. Um, yeah, it's pretty interesting that it worked out. 8. Oh, 8. This one's a huge favorite of mine. That was a very, very neat variation of the dolly double trick, using a platformer and a builder rather than 2 builders. Yeah. The really funny thing was that in this current LDC contest, I originally wanted to make a level using that trick, but I unfortunately was not able to. And the reason for that was because I figured, oh, I don't think anyone has ever come up with a level using that yet. But now I know of someone who has made a law with that using this trick, and that's Nessy. So very well done there. I really like that one. 9, yeah. It wasn't as hard as I thought. It was somewhat easy, I would say. Um, 10 was a pretty difficult one. Knowing myself, there's probably easier solutions than the one I found. Especially since parts of my solutions doesn't seem intended either. The core was a pretty good one. I did come up with a save all solution though. So maybe a slight back row, but I'm not sure. Oh, uh, actually, oh no, no, no. It seems that it is supposed to be a save all solution. Yeah, judging from what I'm seeing here, I'm a little confused now. Um, okay, this one was a pretty good one. I really like the compressing the crowds with a stacker and then releasing them with a digger. Yeah, and then also I just let the crowd bounce off the blocker before bombing him, in order to let the other climber get a head start. Oh, 13. This was a really good one. Yeah, it's a deceivingly difficult one, but I really, really love the tricks needed here. Yeah, in order to solve it. It was really, really neat. 14 was another favorite of mine as well. Yeah, that was really neat with using a digger to make another worker lemming survive the fall, and then also blocking at the edge and then bombing him later so that the crowd can safely drop as well. 15 was another good one. Uh, it was a bit difficult, but it wasn't like too hard. Very, very neat tricks needed here. In particular, the building and then bashing in order to release the blocker was the hardest to see here. 16, yeah, that one surprisingly gave me some problems as well, but it's another good one too. Um, let's see, 17, yeah, 17 was somewhat of a difficult one as well. Um, Originally I tried to come up with a timing heavy base solution, but yeah, I realized that doesn't need to happen. So once I realized that I could use a blocker to hold back the other worker, then yeah, then it was pretty much a self-solve from there. 18, yeah, it seems to just be the solution just seems to be all timing based. So it's just all about realizing when to build and bashing at the right time, so that no one slips by before the worker is done bridging over the gaps. 19, yeah, I pretty much came up with a timing based solution here as well, using the RR so that only one lemming turns back to the left, and then everyone else goes to the right. 20, that one didn't stop me as long as I thought it would. But still pretty challenging in my opinion. Hikers for Xenon 1, yeah, that should be probably a slight back row. But then again, it is the first level of the rank, so maybe not. Snow Patrol, yes, this was a really good one. It's a extremely deceivingly difficult one, and I ran into a lot of problems while trying to solve it. But yeah, uh, it is extremely satisfying to figure out. Yeah, this level does a pretty good job in making you think that certain skill assignments need to go at certain locations, but that actually turned out to be wrong. So yeah, once I started challenging some of my assumptions, then um, I kind of got off to a better start that way. 3, nothing too special there, although I was a bit of a dummy there in while trying to solve it. 4, that was a pretty good no builders low. Also a bit of a dummy here as well, since I kept thinking to drop lemmings or the worker lemming from the right side of the structure down here. But the thing about that is that you have to try to turn them around, but you can't. It doesn't seem possible to. So instead, the solution was to drop them on the left side of the structure down here. Fine, nothing too special there. Although I did use compression on the right side, and then a bit of timing on the left side in order to not get that many lemmings killed. And then block it after a certain number of lemmings goes out to the right. Oh, 6. This was a major roadblock. It would it. I surprisingly struggled with it, and there were plenty of things that I kept trying to do, but they ultimately don't work because I would either be a skill short or I would lose too many lemmings. The closest I got to a working solution was using a builder staircase to keep a basher going, but that didn't work either because I will ultimately lose uh, more lemons than I needed to, even at the time it did work out. And then ultimately I did find a solution, but after finally solving it, yeah, I'm really confused as to why I did not realize it before. Yeah, because really the solution isn't that difficult to execute at all, but it is difficult to see though, especially with how to containing the crowd. I guess um, the most important part was just like realizing that you need to keep the crowd moving a bit before holding back the crowd until the task was done with the worker lemming. And also just realizing how to prevent the climber from dying too. Um, Xenon sound nothing too special about it, other than it's pretty much in like a unique tile set. It appears. Um, this appears to be maybe from a Super Mario's Bros game. I'm not sure though. At least based on the graphic tile set I'm looking at. My solution here isn't probably exactly intended, especially since I've used a miner as a stalling tactic, just to prevent him from dying before the work was done. 8, I'm pretty sure is not intended. I'm pretty sure I cheesed it completely. Suppose surely it's supposed to be much harder than that. 9, I'd say was a pretty good design. I especially love the billboards here, and the tower set is quite nice here. Um, Somewhat of a reprieve there, I guess, for this late in the rank, but it's still not exactly trivial. 10, yes, this was another one that I surprisingly struggled with. I did watch another four member solution after I solved this, and I seriously cannot believe that I did not see uh, fencing and then platforming a bit before blocking, so that you only need a digger to release the left crowd. Yeah, so I kind of feel dumb not seeing that. But well, at the same time, I'm also surprised that my solution works. Yeah, just blocking at the end of the fence tunnel so that he turns around and chips up a little bit of the ceiling so that the left crowd can merge with the right crowd. Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised that works. So it kind of makes me realize that the fencer destruction mass is much higher than I expected. Instant ninjas, yes, this was another one that I struggled with as well. And once again, I watched the solution of another forum member after I solved this, and yes, I also feel stupid on this one because in some of my earlier attempts, yeah, while watching the solution, I was like, oh my goodness. So I did have the correct solution the entire time. I just didn't go further enough with it. 12, yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Although I don't think my solution is exactly intended though. 13, yeah, this should also be a pretty bad back route, especially since I don't think it's supposed to be this easy for this late in the rank. 14 was a pretty good one. Um, yeah, pretty sure my solution isn't exactly intended, but at the same time, if it is acceptable, then it seems more efficient than the intended. 15 was a pretty easy one. Yeah, I gotta say it was pretty easy for this late in the rank. But at the same time, I can still see how it can be problematic. And in 16, I think I had like at least a skill left over or something. But at the same time, I gotta say that this one was a pretty easy one as well. 17 was definitely harder than the previous two, but it's a really good one. Yeah, I especially love that trick of leaving a builder step past the thin wall so that a climber can drop down safely to the bottom while splatting. And also just using a builder staircase to keep a miner going. That was really, really neat. And also, yeah, bombing a climber so that the others can reach the exit. 18, yeah, here I tried for a pretty long time to get the compression method to work for the right crowd. There were a couple of times in which I said that it wouldn't work just because I kept losing 2 to the Stomper trap, but ultimately, I realized too late that it requires some arm manipulation in order to just lose 1 to the trap. But anyway, my solution should not be intended since I do have a lot of skills left over, and surely it should be slightly harder than that. 19 was a pretty good one. Yeah, I really like how to after finishing bashing, you build in such a way so that you just leave a builder step, and also once again leaving a builder step past the thin wall in order for the crowd to survive, or rather, the climber to survive. Yeah, to fall to the bottom to forge the rest of the path, and also the crowd too. Blue wedding, there isn't exactly anything too special about this, other than the fact that I really like how I really like the design here. In particular, the blue pieces here. That's pretty neat. I wonder how Nessy did that. Although now that I think about it, there probably is like a blue piece in that tile set, so I think that's how he made the logo look the way it is. Alrighty, and then the final main rank Radon. One was a pretty good one. I really liked that one. The hardest thing to see in this level was pass through blocker and then releasing him with a digger with a lemming jumping right on top of him. 2 was another good one, even if the solution I found doesn't seem exactly intended, and if it is acceptable, then it seems more efficient than the intended. I would think 3 was definitely harder than the previous 2, but it's still not too hard. And 4, oh yes, 4 was another hard one, but I really liked this one. This was a huge favorite of mine in the Radon rank. Yeah, it's especially clever with using a miner to punch a hole in the wall so that you can climb into it and start bashing. The hardest part in this level was timing the climbers in such a way so that the second climber turns around in the meet while a basher tunnels in progress and then mining down to the crowd both times. And also, it's really neat using the pit in the bottom left in order to make a platform for the crowd. So overall, a very nice level. 5 surprisingly gave me problems, and yes, once again I watched the solution of another forum member, and yeah, I also feel stupid for this one and not realizing that you could just use 2 bombers to release the crowd on the right. So really, that whole timing thing was not needed on my part. Although here I do use the unique property of comet bombing in that you can bomb in such a way so that limits from one side can step up, but not from the other side. And I think it's just simply due to the like the egg shape crater of the skill. And then 6, ooh, excuse me, things don't get in my throat or something. 6 shouldn't be exactly intended either, especially since here I believe I have a blocker left over, and I don't think it's supposed to be this easy either. 7 was surprisingly a very difficult one. I don't know if my solution is exactly intended, especially since here I raised the wall high enough on the right side of a digger pit so that the 2 clump lemmings don't get past it and keep going out to the right. Although here I also use a basher as a stall so that he doesn't slip out either. But it is surprisingly a very difficult one, despite there only being 3 skill types and only 5 skill assignments in total. 8 should definitely not be intended. I have a lot of climbers left over, and I don't think it's supposed to be that easy. 9 was a pretty good one. It did take me a while to realize how to stop lemmings from the right crowd going out to the left, but yeah, that's what the blockers are for. So it's really nice. For the most part, I did have the solution figured out pretty quickly. There was just one thing that I need to think about for a bit. Okay, 10, I don't think is exactly intended either. Yeah, or at least the way I solved it. In particular, I bashed in such a way so that part of the slanter slope got destroyed, so that the crowd can keep going out to the right. And then I also mined into the steel to make the climber turn around and have him get to the button just in time. Yeah, before anyone slips past the locked exit. But I would say that it was a pretty difficult one though. 11 wasn't as hard, but yeah, it's still challenging. 12, yeah. This was a low in which yeah, it was just screaming out nuke solution to me for quite a while. But interestingly enough, yeah, the intended solution for the penultimate low in this reg seems to have the nuke intended. But interestingly enough, I avoided that solution and found another one instead. 13 was a pretty good one. I really like how the a blocker is released on the builder staircase with a miner, even though the builder staircase doesn't connect with the wall. 14 was another pretty good one. I really like that one as well. In particular, the trick of releasing two climbers in such a way so that they slip by the builder staircase from above, but then once down below, they cannot get past it because the builder is already done. And also, just building in such a way so that you leave a builder staircase either past the thin wall or you just leave a builder step after finishing bashing to a wall completely. 15 was a difficult one. For the most part, I did have most of the solution figured out. The only thing I was missing was figuring out how to manage the climbers from going out and dying along with the worker, or rather, uh, by going over the top with the worker. In the end, I used some R manipulation in order to overcome it. So, but I'm not exactly sure if some release rate manipulation is required though. Oh, 16 was a pretty difficult one. Yeah, mostly because I'm very bad when it comes to using stackers. In particular, the hardest part was probably at the very end. Just realizing how do you release the crowd and have them go further to the exit. That last obstacle was extremely difficult to figure out, and there were several other parts in the load that were hard to figure out too. Yeah, in particular, realizing that you can release the left crowd with a stacker after compressing the crowd enough in that pit. Okay, 17 was a really good one. Yeah, once again, leaving a builder step past a thin wall so that the climber survives, default to the bottom, and then building over the gap before anyone else arrives, and also using builder staircases and a blocker to keep a miner going. That was the hardest part to see, the miner part, but really, really nice one. I really love the solution there. 18 was another good one as well. Just more leaving a builder step past a wall. So the first way is with using a bomber, and then the second way is bashing in such a way so that a thin sliver of it is left so that you can leave a builder step past the wall in order to create a platform. Okay, 19 is an unusually difficult level. Yeah, with a very, very minimal skill set. And as I mentioned before, I avoided the nuke solution because that seems to be the intended one. Instead, I use an extremely timing heavy and very fiddly solution in that with a basher, yeah, the lemmings have to come at just the right moment where I block in such a way so that he's on raised terrain so that I can bash him free later. But at the same time, I also allow a lemming to go on ahead to bridge the gap to the exit. Yeah, the one in the middle. And then finally, for the final level of the main rank of the pack, it's nowhere near the hardest, but at the same time, it was still pretty challenging though. A lot of the time, I kept being a skill short, at least a skill short, or I kept running into problems with the save requirement. Okay, and then whereas for synthetic, which was pretty much considered like a bonus rank for the pack, um, from what I understand, it seems to be all contest lows. The description for the rank in the low pack topic says mostly contest lows, but no, it's all contest lows. That's really uh, um, the best way to put it. So excavation site. This is currently the final low of Lemmings Migration. Yeah, which was a pack that I LP'd near the end of last year. Yeah, and I gotta say it's quite difficult, but here, yeah, this one didn't take too long, just because I kind of had um like I kind of remembered the solution more than I thought it would, and then here, yeah, I abandoned the solution that I originally found and went with a much cleaner solution. Yeah, one that seems intended as well. Two was surprisingly a very difficult one for me. Yeah, this one took me quite a while before I solved it. So it amazes me that it's a deceivingly difficult one of everything low, which is not a bad thing though, because I tend to like one of everything lows. But this was one of those where it's a difficult one. Yeah, and it can be if done correctly. Three was another hard one, but this was a really good one. I really like this one. Yeah, it took me a while to see getting having two lemmings go through the Ghostbuster trap. Yeah, but the second one will survive since he's close enough to the first one. While it is active, while the trap is active. Form was also another one that I surprisingly struggled with. In the end, I came up with a solution that does not require one of the minor pickups. So surely it's not intended, but if it is acceptable, then well, it is a messy one. Yeah, from what I found, since I since it pretty much all came down to finding the right timing. Five, I would say it's just as hard, maybe a little bit harder um than its counterpart with synthetic four, especially since going up is the most difficult part here. I don't know if my solution is exactly intended though, but yeah, even though I use all the skills, I think six was a pretty good one. I say that's pretty clever with bombing and then bashing in the wrong direction the one-way arrows, but you can still destroy some terrain a bit at a time. That was pretty clever. Seven's got to be a huge background since yeah, I ignored a trapdoor completely. And there were a couple of times in which I said it wouldn't work just because I kept failing by at least a pixel or so. Yeah, or I'm like a skill short, but no, ultimately I did find one that worked. But I used the property of bashers to my advantage in that when bashing, yeah, there's a pixel erased terrain. And so I use that to my advantage to keep on bashing and then bash enough of the ceiling away so that I'm able to build towards the right exit. Yeah, and be able to fence without any problems. Yeah, at first I thought it didn't work. I thought it wouldn't work just because he would fence like past the exit, but no, it does work. So yes, this has got to be a huge back row. And then eight, ooh, I really love the design here, and it's a really good level. It's probably my biggest favorite of all the synthetic rank. Yeah, once again, that variation, the dolly double trick, that's really neat. And that one took me quite a while to see. Although some of my earlier attempts have me using it, I just didn't do it correctly, I guess. So, like in other words, not catching the lemmings after the builder bridge has pretty much been built. Yeah, that was the right distance to start catching the lemmings in order to start platforming. But no, that one took me quite a while to see for some very odd reason. Yeah, but it is a pretty difficult level though, but a really nice one. Nine was definitely a much easier one. Um, yeah, because there wasn't anything too difficult here. And then 10, oh, 10 was a pretty difficult one, but it's also another big favorite of mine too. Um, in particular, I struggle the most with the last wall over here. Yeah, that one took me quite a while to see, but I gotta say that was extremely clever with building and then blocking on the staircase, and then having two climbers come so that one of them bombs to release the blocker, but also blowing through the wall as well. That's the hardest part. Yeah, timing those two climbers so that the other climber can still go out to the left, but the blocker that got freed keeps going to the right to forge the rest of the path. Other than that, I pretty much had uh, almost all this level figured out already. And then finally, Synthetic Alone, the final level of the pack. Yeah, as I said before, I had played this contest level many months ago. Um, Almost been a year since I played it, and I think I kind of yeah, in the end, I kind of forgotten how I solved it originally, but at the same time, I also still stuck with my original solution. So really, the solution that I found here, it's a bit of a variation of the one I originally found, but it does work though. Um, I know there are other solutions to the level, but yeah, I can't quite remember them either. So I guess that's the main reason for me sticking with my solution I originally found for the level. Alrighty, so with that, those are my final thoughts of the pack. So once again, I got to say to Nessy, very job well done with your sequel pack. I It is many times better than migration, and that's the reason why I kept releasing videos of my LP, yeah, in short order, just because I was really loving the pack, and so I just wanted to keep on going with the pack, and so that's how I ultimately finished the pack. I think in less than a week after I started the LP. But yes, I really enjoyed this pack. Yeah, way more than Migration. And Migration was already a really good pack to begin with. Though I find it pretty interesting that I struggled a lot more with Migration than I did with Destination. Um, yeah, Destination I kind of breezed through it a lot quicker than I thought. The only thing about Destination though is that I expected much harder levels in the Radon rank. Um, Especially since I interestingly ended up struggling with some of them in the Xenon rank. And so because of that, yeah, I expected much harder in the Radon rank. So in a way, I was kind of a bit disappointed by that, but hey, there were still a lot of gems in that rank. Yeah, there were a lot of Radon levels that I really liked. And so yes, so excellent job with Destination. Yeah, even though I seem to have found a lot of back routes still, but at the same time, there have only been, let me see, I think there have only been 2 updates to the pack since its release. So yeah, I'll give Nessie that though. So because of that, yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of back routes still there is expected. But in any case, yeah, now that I play Destination, yeah, Nessie always has the choice. He is free to update the pack at his own pace whenever he was good and ready. Yeah, I mean, the two subsequent updates kind of took a while themselves, but again, there is absolutely no rush for Nessie to update the pack ASAP. Yeah, because I know that we have lives outside Lemmings, and we are busy adults and everything. So yeah, he's free to go at his own pace. Yeah, absolutely no pressure from him. But with this, yes, I gotta say, I hope you guys enjoyed this LP series on Lemmings Destination. Yeah, I know I did. And tune in for my next project for whatever the next pack I will LP will be. I haven't exactly decided yet, I don't think, but I think I would decide in a couple of days or so. Yeah, but for now, I would probably need like a bit of a short break before I start LPing again. So, with this, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys all around.